Hello, have you ever wondered which kind of money is, growing, or which kind of money is growing your net worth while there is inflation? It's debt, actually. So, with having debt at the bank for a real estate, financing, your net worth grows even in recessions. And that's a little bit talking about the topic of this video, which is how I became a landlord at age 27, 28, something like that. So basically, I always wanted to own real estate. By the way, this is the basement of actually not my own property. We have rented this house for around about 1,800 euros per month. So we're living for rent and renting out my other properties, which is currently a little house and a flat in Tyrol, and the little house is in Lower Austria. And the way I became a landlord was actually because I always wanted to own real estate. And when it was 2018, basically. So I was 25, and in 2018 I bought a house. I bought it in Lower Austria because we moved there with my former girlfriend because she wanted to study in Vienna, and I thought the rents in Vienna are not really cheap. We couldn't do that at that time. I think a flat was 800 or 1,000 euros that we would have to have if she wanted to live near the university. It would have been very, very small. We had a dog at that time, which I still have. So Grace is my dog, and and we wouldn't have found a flat very easily. So buying a house, a little house in the surroundings of Vienna was a good opportunity. And so I bought a little house for 100K at that time. And actually, we had to renovate quite a lot, new bathroom, some things for electricity, a new staircase. So I think I invested around 20K in total in that house. And when we separated in 2020, I said, I lived for half a year in that house, and then my ex-girlfriend said, okay, I'm looking for a flat. And after that half a year, because she lived at a friend's place at that time, and I said, well, you want to take over the house? Actually, you can rent it from me. And so that's how I became a landlord at that time. And what kind of benefits do you have as a landlord? First of all, everything that you invest into a house, which is not your home. And this is something I want to mention because right now, we're living for rent, and our landlord has to take care of the stuff that is broken in this house, right? That is like larger things. We don't have to renovate stuff. And if you have to renovate in your property, it's better that you don't live there, but you rent it out, because then everything is tax deductible. At my flat, I rented it out when we moved here. So about when we decided to move here, so about 6 months ago, I rented it out, and then something, I think the stove broke or something, and I ordered a new stove from IKEA, and I bought it for, let's say, 400 bucks. And I can put that 400 bucks in my tax statement because it's for the rented out property. With doing this, I improve the property. It's worth more, like that 400 bucks. My property is worth more. and it's still deductible from tax because I rent it out. If I wouldn't rent it out, I couldn't deduct it, of course. Yeah, sure. And now, my biggest asset right now is about 300,000 euros I owe the bank, which is in fixed financing. So also I don't have I don't know the English term, but I financed this with fixed conditions for 10 years. So for 10 years, it's fixed conditions, and if inflation goes up, then my fixed conditions stay the same, and they don't they are not going up and down. And after 10 years, of course, I have to think about, will I sell it or will I refinance? But this is something you have to keep in mind, because you can become very rich in times of inflation the more you owe the bank. But one thing, you have to have properties in a good location. That's also very important. You have to have properties in a good location, because the prices will also go up or at least stay stable. If you have properties that go down in value, or that somehow you have to renovate more than it's worth, like the property is worth, then of course this debt is not good debt. So to classify debt, you always have to check what is the current worth, the current value of your property against your credit score, or the money you owe the bank, and also how much does this decrease. And then something else, the rents will go up. So I can increase rent, I think by 3%. I think that's what says the contract that I set up with my tenants. And the rent goes up. It's independent of, or no, it's basically dependent on inflation. So if the inflation goes up, also the rent goes up, and the value of the money I owe the bank goes down. Because if I owe 100,000 to the bank and inflation comes, then this 100,000 will be worth less compared to what for example, my salary rises, the rent rises, so it's paid off faster with inflation, is worth less, and the debt is fixed. So the percentage I have to pay yearly doesn't go up, right? So so that's basically it. That's the story how I became a millionaire, not millionaire, how I became a landlord, not yet millionaire, maybe will be in a few decades. I don't know, maybe because of YouTube will be earlier. But this is, my general view on real estate right now. So be careful where you invest. Invest very early if you can. Also, if it suits your current situation, very good, very nice. But be careful where you invest, and also that you always have a tenant, so you can always rent it out. That's my advice to you, fellow real estate entrepreneurs. With my 2 properties, I'm not really a real estate entrepreneur, but still, private investing. And I think this is something that is the most stable thing I ever invested in.